about today is blood sugar and why it is important. I think people often don't realize that physical therapists are, not to say trained in the same way that dietitians are, but nutrition definitely falls in our scope of practice. And I try and educate my patients on this. But I figure there's pretty much just a general lack of education on blood sugar in general for most people unless they've looked into it. But as a kind of real general quick overview, why blood sugar is important, why it's important in your weight loss goals or in your health goals or just your energy level goals in any realm. So blood sugar. Typically, especially today when you're eating anything that you're not cooking at home, there's tons of added sugar, tons of additives that can fluctuate your blood sugar. So what happens, first we'll talk about when your blood sugar is low. So some signs that your blood sugar is low, which probably everybody is familiar with: fatigue, weakness, anxiety and depression, poor memory, kind of feeling like you're in a fog, irritability, hanger, dizziness. So what happens in our body when we have too low of blood sugar? When it is too low, your adrenal gland has to kick in and produce cortisol. I'm sorry. This little dog is really bonkers, so if he goes crazy, just ignore him. Anyway, so when it's too low, your adrenal gland has to kick in to produce cortisol. Cortisol actually helps to create glucose, and it either does that from taking it from your fat or from your muscle, or it actually has to kick your liver in gear and produce it from your glycogen stores. So what that does is then it increases your blood sugar. Or you get really hungry and you start eating something and you're like, I'm going to grab this quick snack, and it happens to have like 20 grams of sugar in it. So then your sugar skyrockets. You feel better for a little bit and your sugar's way up high. When it is way too high, you can have similar symptoms. It can also have fatigue, irritability, shortness of breath, nausea, anxiety, depression, those kind of things. Well, so when it is too high, your pancreas has to kick in. I'm sorry, this dog is freaking out. He wants to be up here. So when your pancreas has to kick in, this is Dax. Sorry. What it does is it releases insulin, which everyone is pretty familiar with. When insulin is released, then it helps to lower your blood sugar. But when it's going way high and way low, instead of it being kind of this natural balance, release a little bit and we're back to normal, release a little bit here, back to normal. And when it peaks and spikes, it puts way too much strain on either your pancreas or on your adrenal gland. When you get too much strain on your pancreas over and over and over again, that's when you see the pre-diabetes or diabetes type 2, because your pancreas is just having to work all the time. And then the other one that's not quite as well known, I guess, is adrenal fatigue, which you might have heard of, when your adrenal gland has to go into overdrive all the time when it's too low. So basically all these people who are like, I'm just going to stop eating as much, and they go way low in their calories, your adrenal gland gets just totally overworked, and then you get adrenal fatigue. And when you have overuse of that, then you actually, when you have way too much cortisol, that's what you release when you're stressed. So the more stressed you are, the more you're releasing all these things. So basically, we're like riding a roller coaster all day long, which is not good for your body. So benefits of balancing your blood sugar are keeping it from peaking, keeping it from totally bottoming out. So steady energy. I'm going to kill this dog. Hey. Sorry. Steady energy so you don't have the crazy high and then the crashing. So how that plays into why I take Plexus is our pink drink, which I really hate that it's called Slim. Hey Sean, what's up, bro? I hate that it's called Slim because truly it is not a weight loss product in any realm. They developed Plexus for people with diabetes originally to help balance blood sugar. That was its original kind of starting point, which a side effect when you already have these problems, if you're really overweight, a side effect is weight loss. So it kind of got that name and it just hasn't really gotten changed. I wish that they would change it to like balance or something, but it's not as sexy a name, and people are like, oh, Slim, I'm gonna lose weight. Really, it just balances everything. Main thing it has in here is chromium, which if you go and Google that, broccoli has a ton of chromium. So anyways, if you Google too much chromium, then that's not great, but this helps to keep everything regulated. So pretty much I wake up and I drink pink, and then if I'm having a day where I'm really tired or something, or I'm trying to hit different weight loss and health goals, I'll drink two. Typically it works best on an empty stomach, so if you drink it before your first meal or before lunch. I just put it in room temperature water. If you put it in cold water, it's going to clump up and take forever to dissolve because it's a natural product, so it's not just going to instantly dissolve. anyways, it pretty much tastes like, this is what other people ask me what it tastes like. It tastes like a red Tootsie Pop. It's the closest comparison I can think of. I don't really care for the Tootsie part of the Tootsie Pops. I like the outside. It doesn't taste like chocolate. It's just kind of a fruity, totally natural though. The pink color comes from beets, and the sweetener comes from stevia extract. So there's nothing man-made or chemical made. It's completely natural and holistic, and it helps to keep your blood sugars balanced. So hopefully this gave you a little insight on why blood sugar matters. Ways to do that as far as eating: stay away from the super processed, really simple carbs like white bread, white pastas, those kind of things. If you can go to more of a complex carb, that way it takes longer to break down and give you energy rather than just a real quick, immediate. Trying to lower your direct intake of sugar, which is tough for most people because it is added into literally everything. And not starving yourself. So if you're trying to lose weight, do not just decide not to eat enough and go down to like 1,000 calories or 1,500 on a regular basis, something crazy like that, because you are just overly stressing your adrenal gland. So think of your pancreas, think of your adrenal gland. Try not to be horrible to either one. Keep it in the middle. So think even little baby waves rather than roller coaster ride. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to let me know. I know some of you guys are on here and it's the middle of the day, so I didn't think many people would be. Lauren, hey! We're on something mutual, not politics. But if you have any questions, let me know. I'll put some info down in the comment section if you want it. Other than that, have a great day.